Hello all, welcome to today's session. Today, the topic for discussion is William Shakespeare's Sonnets. So first, I'll be giving a general introduction on Shakespeare's Sonnets. So Shakespeare was born as William Shakespeare on 26 April 1564 to John Shakespeare and Mary Arden, and his birthplace is Stratford on Avon. William Shakespeare's sonnets are often regarded as the continuation of the sonnet tradition heralded by Renaissance. We know the sonnets were introduced by Petrarch in 14th century in Italy, and it was introduced in English literature by Thomas Wyatt in 16th century. But Shakespeare's sonnets are quite different from the earliest sonnets, mainly in their content, but they follow the stylistic form and meter of the English sonnet itself. Shakespeare's sonnets are different from the traditional Petrarchan sonnets in the theme handled. Instead of presenting the themes like unrequited love of a female lover, Shakespeare introduces a young man as well as a dark lady who does not show any resemblance with the goddess-like fair ladies presented by Dante or Petrarch in their sonnets. The primary sources of Shakespeare's sonnets is a quarto published in the year 1609 entitled Shakespeare's Sonnets, and there are total 154 sonnets followed by a poem, A Lover's Complaint. Then regarding the themes, there are themes like passage of time, love, infidelity, jealousy, beauty, etc. And out of this 154 sonnets, the first 126 are dedicated to a young man, that is the fair youth, and the last 28 are addressed to a lady. Then regarding the publisher, it was Thomas Thorpe who entered the book in the Stationer's Register 20 May 1609, and it was George Elt who got the quarto printed. Then these sonnets include a dedication to Mr. W.H., the dedicatee whose identity is still unknown, and anyway it has been the subject of a great amount of speculation. However, it was believed that this particular W.H. was the patron as well as the fair youth addressed in the sonnets. And some believed that the W.H. was William Herbert, the Earl of Pembroke, because he was the dedicatee of the first folio. On the other hand, some believed that it was Henry Wriothesley, the Earl of Southampton, with his initials reversed, who was the dedicatee of Shakespeare's Venus and Adonis as well as Rape of Licorice. Then regarding the form and structure of Shakespearean sonnets, we know these sonnets are composed of 3 quatrains. Quatrain means 4-line stanza. So 3 quatrains followed by a final couplet, that too in iambic pentameter. Then regarding the rhyme scheme, it follows a rhyme scheme of AB AB, CD CD, EF EF, and the last couplet rhyming G G. But there are a few exceptions like Sonnet 99, 126 and 145. They doesn't conform to this particular rhyme scheme. Then, speaking of the major characters in these sonnets, the first main character is the fair youth. The fair youth, it refers to an unnamed young man addressed by the poet in Sonnet 1 to 126. And he is a young, handsome and unusually admired person. So sonnets from 1 to 126 is normally called as the fair youth sequence. So this sequence begins with the poet compelling the fair youth to marry and have children. Then it continues with the friendship, which develops into a homoerotic relation too. Then comes the betrayal by the fair youth as he got seduced by the dark lady, and it concludes with Sonnets 152, in which the poet betrays the fair youth. Then there is the dark lady sequence. The dark lady sequence, it starts from 127, Sonnets 127 to 152. And regarding the dark lady, as I have told you, it is entirely different from those characters, those goddess-like characters presented by Dante and Petrarch. So here, this dark lady, she is not at all aristocratic, beautiful, or chaste, On the other hand, she is an ordinary lady with black hair and dark colored skin. Then there is another character, that is the rival poet. Shakespeare often makes a mention of a rival poet throughout the sonnets. The rival poet's identity still remains a mystery, however. And anyway, these sonnets are telling examples of the unparalleled poetic genius of Shakespeare. And that is why, even after 400 years, attempts are being made to study his sonnets.